You've probably heard of Temu by now.
It's the shopping app at the top of the Google Play and Apple App Stores. Temu.
Temu Hall. I'm excited.
Temu is a Chinese e-commerce marketplace that has taken the world by storm with its rock-bottom prices and gamified shopping app. But what if I told you that all of these deals come at a cost? And that cost might just be state-sponsored genocide.
Chinese government is detaining as many as 1 million Uyghurs
to strictly implement measures to prevent escape.
These images shocked the world.
Hi. Hello. My name is Ray Like Sunshine, and today we're going to be talking about how Temu and its shoppers might be benefiting off of the Uyghur ethnocide currently going on in China. But first, we need some backstory. Temu is a Chinese-owned, Boston-based online marketplace that was started in 2021. Its parent company, Pinduoduo, launched this company in order to break into the US market. As part of their aggressive expansion strategy within the United States and Europe, Temu has dumped millions and millions of dollars into online and influencer marketing. You'll probably see a lot of this marketing if you just search Temu in the search bar. The company even paid $14 million to get 2 30-second slots on the Super Bowl. A quick look at their website and you can find a variety of products such as clothing items, bubble guns, totally not JBL speakers. Look, it's not a Bass Pro Shops hat. It's a trendy fish embroidery trucker hat, hip-hop color block mesh baseball cap, breathable, adjustable, casual dad hats for men and women. Don't you just love their inclusivity? So, how is it that you're able to get a trendy embroidered fish trucker hat, hip-hop? How is it that you're able to get a trendy How is it that you're able to get a trendy fish embroidery trucker hat, hip-hop color block mesh baseball cap, breathable, adjustable dad hats for women and men for only $3.59 plus shipping and handling? Yeah? What'd you say? Shipping's free? It turns out that all of these dirt cheap prices are actually legitimate, and they will actually ship for free. But we all know that there's no such thing as a free lunch. And the cost of this peanut butter and jelly sandwich might just be cultural genocide. In June of 2023, the Select Committee on the Communist Party of China released a report outlining the activities of Temu, Shein, and other e-commerce platforms. The report noted that the probability that Temu imported products that had been made with forced Uyghur labor to be all but guaranteed. For those of you who don't know, the Uyghur people are a primarily Muslim ethnic minority residing in the Xinjiang province of Western China. For the last decade, China has been systematically persecuting the Uyghur population, and an estimated 1.8 million have been incarcerated in what they call re-education camps. There have been reports of torture, religious suppression, forced labor, forced sterilization, and a multitude of other human rights violations committed against the Uyghur people. It is estimated that up to 5 to 10% of all Uyghurs who are transported into these camps never make it back out. In 2020, it was found that over 21 million square feet of factory space had been constructed in and around these camps. In 2021, the BBC conducted an investigation that found that up to 2 million Uyghurs had been mobilized for work in textile mills, factories, and cotton fields in Xinjiang. Many of these people are forced to work under threat of incarceration. The Chinese government claims that this mobilization is meant to reduce poverty, but some workers claim to not have been paid in months. For some additional context, Xinjiang accounts for about 20% of the entire world's cotton production, as well as 85% of China's. And international and third-party reports have found that Uyghur forced labor has been traced in every part of the cotton supply chain within the Xinjiang region. In fact, the use of forced or coerced labor is so widespread in Xinjiang that the region has been known as a cotton gulag. As a result of these alarming findings, the United States enacted the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act in 2021, otherwise known as the UFLPA. The act prohibits the importation of goods that were made in any way, shape, or form within Xinjiang into the United States. So, where does Temu play into all of this? Well, there's a little-known loophole that Temu is exploiting to bypass the UFLPA. When importing goods into the United States, there's an $800 de minimis. A de minimis is the minimum value where goods are subject to an importation inspection. These inspections include verifying that all the contents comply with the UFLPA. Now, usually, importers ship in bulk because it's more cost-effective, which means goods from China are almost always flagged and inspected by customs agents. However, Temu ships each purchase individually in order to bypass customs inspections. Now, This obviously cost Temu a metric shit ton in shipping costs. In fact, experts estimate that Temu might be losing up to $30 per order in their bid to gobble up US market share. Now, for those of you who have never taken an economics class before, losing $30 every time you make a sale is what economists like to call a terrible business decision. However, Temu is able to sustain this estimated almost $1 billion in annual losses because its parent company's profits can make up for these losses. So, Temu was able to bypass the UFLPA by undercutting the de minimis import amount and through the significant financial backing from its Chinese tech company parent. Does that mean that the products sold on its website are actually made by forced labor? Well, the United States government actually asked Temu about the measures it had in place to prevent products that had been manufactured by forced labor from being imported into the US. Now, before I read you Temu's response straight from the report, if you guys aren't familiar what the role of a company spokesperson is, their job is basically to say, "Fuck off, not my problem," without saying the exact words of "fuck off, not my problem." According to the report, Temu responded, because Temu is not the importer of record with respect to goods shipped to the United States, the quote, UFLPA, and the prohibitions set out in Section 307 of the Tariff Act of 1930 do not apply directly to Temu's activities as an online platform operator. Notice how in none of these words does Temu mention any existence of an audit or accountability program. In fact, Temu literally goes out of its way to say, "F off. Not my problem. We're just a middleman." The report notes that Temu even acknowledges that it does not have a policy in place to prohibit the sale of goods made in Xinjiang. So, to summarize, not only does Temu, which claims to be an American company, acknowledge that it has no compliance system to comply with American laws regarding the use of forced labor on products sold on its platform, but Temu has openly admitted that it allows the sale of products made in a Chinese province known for its high levels of forced Uyghur labor. But the plot gets thicker and oranger. Temu also indirectly incentivizes companies that market on its platform to aggressively lower prices. And by incentivize, I mean lower your prices or we'll kick you off our platform.
I hope that we could come here and reason together. And as a reasonable man, I'm willing to do whatever's necessary to find a peaceful solution to these problems.
A recent Wired article said that many merchants don't even have a say in pricing their products. One seller said, if you're not willing to lower the price, they're likely to remove your product from its listings, and thus removing their access to the US market. Many of these sellers found it difficult to even make a profit. This aggressive downwards drive in prices is key to Temu's expansion strategy within the United States. And it's this pressure from Temu on its sellers which makes this situation so alarming. By forcing merchants to slash their prices to the point where it's almost impossible to turn a profit, merchants will seek to cut costs across its entire supply chain. Generally, labor is the first to get cut. So, what we've learned is that Temu skirts the responsibilities of auditing its merchants for forced labor. Temu is able to avoid import inspections for forced labor. Temu essentially forces its sellers to continually lower their prices to the point of unprofitability, which encourages merchants to use cheaper labor. And finally, Temu admits to not having any restrictions on selling products that come straight from a Chinese region known to have forced labor camps, and also is worked by millions of a persecuted minority. I want to be clear. I am not saying that Temu uses forced labor, but I am saying that if it looks like a duck, it swims like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, it's probably forced fucking labor. And if this isn't enough damning evidence, check out this screenshot that was included in the congressional report. Remember what I said about Xinjiang's cotton gulags? The rapid rise of Temu has generated a lot of controversy. Users are reporting that their data is being leaked and money is being taken from their bank accounts. There's concern of rampant consumerism that Temu encourages and the environmental impact it has. But at its core, the simple fact is that Temu openly admits to not having any accountability for ensuring that the products on its website are not the product of forced labor. That should be enough for anybody to stop buying things on Temu. Full stop. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you or anybody else you know would like to donate to the Uyghur Human Rights Project, which is an organization dedicated to exposing the actions of the CCP against the Uyghur population, I've included a link in the description where you can go donate. Okay, bye.